Hey guys, welcome to another episode. So today I'm going to share how you can take old mason jars and restore them to their former glory. So over the past few months preparing for canning season, I have acquired a couple hundred mason jars that are probably older than I am. And as you can see, they have definitely been through some hard times. They definitely have a lot of mineral buildup. So I've been searching for an easy, quick way to remove most, if not all of this residue, because I do not want to be scrubbing 200 plus jars until my fingers bleed. Initially I did a quick Google search and tried a vinegar solution, basically soaking the jars in them for 3 hours and then scrubbing with baking soda and then soapy water. And unfortunately, it did not live up to my needs and expectations. There was still, I would say the majority of it was gone, but there was still enough left over to make me not feel like my jars were completely clean. So I reached out to my gardening and canning Facebook group to get other people's opinions on what they use to try to clean these jars and restore them to their former glory. And I got a couple different options. That there's definitely more than one way. The three main ones were soaking in bleach, soaking in ammonia, and using something called CLR, calcium lime rust. I'm sure you guys have heard of it before. It's nothing new. And I ended up leaning towards the CLR because I have hundreds of jars to clean, like I said. Unless I fill my whole bathtub up to be able to soak them all at once, you know, I'm going to have to do multiple rounds, and that's very time consuming. I'm trying to get this done in probably a couple hours. So looking at the instructions online for CLR, it says it only needs 2 minutes contact time, and then you can scrub away and, you know, the buildup be gone. So that was very advantageous to me. So I went with CLR. And I've already cleaned about 50 jars so far, and I'm already super impressed of how easily it just removes everything, and I just, you know, I'm very happy that I can save my hands from immense pain later. So I have picked pretty much the worst of the worst out of my jars in terms of condition to really show you the extensive cleaning power this method does. And besides having well-seasoned mason jars to clean, we also have this bad boy right here. This was used to create a homemade stain out of vinegar and steel wool. So this is basically just pure rust inside. So I haven't cleaned one of this yet, so this will be a surprise to see how well this jar comes back to life, because I bought this probably not even a year ago, so this is a fairly new jar that's already pretty ruined. Alright guys, so stay tuned and I'll show you how to get these jars squeaky clean. So here is the mountain of jars I have to clean. And like I said, I already cleaned about 50 so far. And you can see, you know, these are just, they're all funky monkeys going on. You can see here, they're all just have a nice little layer of grime on them. Some of them are okay. Some of them have a little bit, but you know, you definitely want to get them as clean as possible. So here's my setup for a jar cleaning station. First I had this Clr Solution, and the bottle recommends doing a 50-50 with water dilution to get started, and they said after the 2 minutes if it doesn't work then bump it up to I think full strength. So I just kind of roughly eyeballed like 2/3 and that has seemed to work with me thus far. But like I said, these are probably the worst of the worst, so I might have to end up doing full strength on them, but we'll see. And then I have a bristle brush with some scoring pad kind of wrapped around it, a bucket of hot soapy water, and safety glasses because the solution will be kind of flying everywhere, and then gloves. So let's put the gloves on. It is definitely a skin irritant, so you want to protect your hands from prolonged exposure. But anyway, so I just take it and rotate as I spray the inside, and then follow up by spraying the outside. Start lining them up. And you can instantly hear the fizzing of the solution breaking down the buildup. So that's pretty awesome. It's already doing the work for you. Now for the mother load. It's going to take a lot of sprays. Here's a close-up of the bubbles. Okay, so by the time you get to your last jar, your first jar will probably already be at that 2 minutes. You can start scrubbing. But I'm gonna go get a chair because I don't want to be standing this entire time. Alright, now for the moment of truth. I'm just gonna give this an extra boost. Let's see what happens. That about does it. This is completely rust free. Woohoo! So from here you can wash your jars like normal by hand, or if you have a lot like I do, you can just throw them in the dishwasher. Now I know it's a little bit of a taboo within the canning community to wash your jars in the dishwasher. I do it because I use mason jars just as regular drinkware, and that doesn't seem to bother. Maybe in 20 years it does something, but I mean, but for the purpose of this video, I'm actually going to wash these by hand just so I can get them over and done with and show you guys before it gets dark. So stay tuned. Alright, so here are the results of one round of CLR plus a quick hand washing. I'll start with the main attraction first. Obviously, this is pretty much nothing of what it used to look like. There is pretty much no rust left on it. A few water spots, that's mainly because of my quick hand wash. But yeah, I would say the majority of these glasses came out very well. You can see here, here's an Atlas. This is an older one, and this is pretty much almost new. But I do have 4 over here on this side that are still a little bit cloudy. I'm gonna actually give these guys a second treatment real quick and to see if I can get them looking just as good as these guys over here. Because if I gave these the same amount of attention I gave the big one, I'm sure they'd be looking just as sparkly. So let me go do that real quick and I'll be right back. Alright, so round 2 results. I have to say I definitely do see an improvement. We're still not 100% there. And it could be due to me still not giving them the attention that they need. When I was applying the CLR the second time, it still was bubbling and fizzing. So probably just the really milky white glasses need probably extra care and extra attention, but I do think they probably can achieve almost new looking like quality. I will do a follow-up video because I do have some old vintage milk glasses and they are completely just like opaque. So I think if I soak those probably overnight and then scrub a bunch of times, I can probably get those looking pretty nice. So that will be a future video, but for now it's time to wrap up before the sun goes down. I hope you enjoyed this video and you're definitely able to use this method to definitely save time and headache for cleaning a bunch of jars if you have them. So thanks again and take care. Have a good night. Bye.